Game Replays, Company of Heroes fans, welcome back to another exciting episode of Sunday Night Fights. Here we are tonight. We've got an excellent matchup for you guys. It's going to be two tourney champions, Epsilon Seb versus Rom Wu, and I expect nothing but the best from these ballers. But before we get into all of that, I would like to introduce to you guys my co-casters. I'm very happy to welcome to the show my right-hand man, organizer, Biosparks. How you doing, friend?
Hello, everyone. It's good to be back. Here we are. Another Sunday, another show, another really great series to have. So I'm really pumped up for this one, and we'll see how this great series turns out.
That's right, we will. I'm itching to get it started. Can't wait to hit on pause, but we've got some more special treats for you before that. I would like to introduce to Sunday Night Fights in his first semi-live broadcast, his first replay cast ever. This is no noob, though. This is the grandfather of COH on Game Replays. This is the guy that won the first ever tournament. Tournament number 1. You know, when you go to the tourney forums and you click on the tourney winners list, you know, tourney number 1, it's so far back we don't even know the specific date, defeating Ahenian on who knows which maps. But hey, that's not all. He might have been good back then, but he's good now too. And he's a fan favorite. He's the winner of tourney number 12, defeated Dr. Horse with the famous originator of the Volksvolk Sniper Strat. Let me welcome to the show, Sepha!
Hey Ami, I don't think I can ask for a better presentation than that, really. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm really happy to be here and cast with you guys, casting this great game.
The honor is all ours, and let's bring up that fight card and see these two guys that are going to be fighting tonight. So, in one corner, you have Seb, who has won a 1v1 tournament himself, 2 2v2 tournaments, and he is the guy with the most wubs ever for one replay in that tournament game 3 where he defeated Razor. I linked it in the portal thing. Sepha, you must remember that game. Tell me a little bit about Seb.
Do you mean Wu's game? Or Seb's game? The one that got loads of wubs with Razor in it?
Yeah, Seb and Razor, or just Seb as a player in general. You've faced him many times on the field.
I don't know that much about Seb. I've played him, like, probably 3 or 4 times. He's one of those players, you know, I hear about, I read on the forums about, and I hear about from you and other people, but I haven't played him myself very much. So it'd be interesting to see how he plays and what kind of strategy he does in this game. I think he's a very macro-orientated player. He prefers long, drawn-out games, and he'll wait for other players to make mistakes. So he's going to be doing that in this game for sure.
Yeah, like a tiger ready to leap on the prey as soon as it missteps, you know, pull him down. And Biosparks, tell me a little bit about Wu299.
Well, Wu is one of those players that has always been in the shadows. Like, you don't see his name come up very often, and like when he won the tournament as well, no one really expected him to win it. Although, like, there were some people who thought, okay, well, this might be Wu's time, because everyone knows he's a good player, but he's never in the spotlight. And because of that, like, normally, if you ask me what's this guy's usual playstyle, I can tell you his build orders, I can tell you what he likes to do, like what doctrine even. But for Wu, I don't know. It's quite simple, because he's just an unknown, but not completely unknown, if you know what I mean. Just one of those guys who just is just probably in the second row, but he will take you out if need be. So by no means a bad player. You know, he's still really top tier.
So Wu's the winner of our last official Game Replays 1v1 tournament, and it was a little bit anticlimactic because he was supposed to play Freestyler in the final game, but that never actually happened. So I remember we broadcast the semifinals game with Wu versus Caught, and Wu was victorious. and therefore took home the belt for that tournament. So this is a good showcase, a good opportunity for him to further prove himself, as the true reigning champion. Because if there's anybody that's a reigning champion right now, like the last winner of a 1v1 tournament, it's Wu299. So, Seb hasn't won a 1v1 tournament in quite a while, So Seb, I'm sure, is eager to get back on top and show people that he's still on top of his game. So, without any more talking about these guys, what I want to do and what everybody wants to do is get into this thing. So, Pez, if you take us to the video.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Sunday night fight.
Sunday Night Fights, season number 3, sponsored by Relic Entertainment and GameReplays.org. This is contender bout number 2 for $50. The winner wins the right to stay on and face Siberian Platoon. Do you really want to win and have to go up against that guy? It gives me the shivers, man. The Ukrainian, the beast. Face him next week in the first ever title fight. I'm sure you guys will all be back for that one, right? So, a lot riding here. Someone could start a real run on this season. And Sepha, are you ready to count this in? Who are you going to be following?
Okay, I'm going to be following Wu, and I'm ready to cast this game with you.
All right, then I'll be following Epsilon Seb, and hopefully I won't call Seb Seph or Seph Seb too many times in this replay, but I guarantee you it will happen. Every time I do it, you got to drink. All right, we're at 5 seconds. We're going to unpause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and episode number 2, contender bout number 2 is underway.
Looks like Seb's going for 4 engineers, probably going to be followed by a Rax.
Indeed he is. This is the most popular strat at the moment. Have you played this strat? And I saw you doing some games recently, streaming. Do you play 4ES Rax?
I tested it out. Do you know why I think this strategy is so good? Because it works so well against making an early sniper as Wehrmacht. Because you have so many different engineer squads that they're hard to keep up with. And a sniper just can't handle it as much. Flanks coming from all different directions against the MG. 2 Volks can't really take on so many flamer engineers.
I mean, we saw the epitome of this strat, last week in the Ace game number 5 with Siberian. Everybody expected Aimstrong to dominate as his favorite faction on his favorite map, and Siberian he took so many sniper shots in the face, but it didn't really seem to matter. And if 4ES is a great counter to your build, this kind of Volksvolk sniper, let's flip it around and talk about Wehrmacht. What do you think? How should Wehrmacht adapt to deal with this 4ES build?
I'm not a big fan of 4 engineers build because it doesn't give that much firepower mid to late game with a rifleman. You're making less rifleman squads, you're only making 3 or so, and you're depending on the engineers early to get you a lot of map control. And there's only so much map control you can gain with the Americans early on. You can only gain about half the map before Wehrmacht is able to defend and push you back. So that's the important thing with Wehrmacht, defending the line. If you were to cut down a line between the middle of the map and defending that line with an MG or two, being able to deal with flanks from the engineers.
We have our first little engagement. It's builders versus builders in the south. They both take cover. They both back away from the fight. They're both sitting in green cover, and now it looks like Wu's running off to race more. Another little engagement here. This is more serious. This is Volk's infantry. Strangely, okay, so this is the second Volk squad, and they've come out and they've gone north to hold their fuel so that there is no harassment up there. And it looks like they have these NGs outgunned, although the NGs are being real rascals, and they're playing ring around the rosy with this hedge, and they're basically keeping the Volks from getting into the center of the field, and they're delaying, and here come rifles.
It looks like one of the Wehrmacht's Volks is caught up in the center capping points as well, so that's one Volksgrenadier squad that's going to be pretty much useless in all the early game encounters at the moment. A Rifleman squad is going to pop out and start attacking them soon. He wants to keep as many units in combat as he can at the moment against so many engineers, and he's got that Volksgrenadier squad in the middle doing nothing really.
Yeah, they've only just capped a few points. They've got some map control. Now, these rifles totally won this engagement in the north. Seb also won the little engineer engagement in the south, so they're still capping around. And now it looks like the far north engagement, the Pios have just sort of walked off towards the ammo, and Seb is lowering that plus 10 ammo up there, too. And now we do see a sniper coming out. So no major build order change here from what's popular, which is your Volk sniper build.
This is what we were talking about before, the weakness of Volk sniper build. You're not going to be able to get as much map control early on, because the engineers are just going to swarm all around the map, and they'll be capping points, and you can't really take the fight to the Americans on so many different fronts. You need to group your army up and go for a strategy point, or defend the line down the center.
It looks like Wu lost small skirmishes all over the place, and Seb has just kind of been capping with abandon. He looks like he's in really good shape. I don't know. I want to see like a more dependable counter to this build, because it seems like this build just gets so much early map control. And it's interesting that Wehrmacht is not really making MGs until so late. But I guess you're forced to do that. You need capping power, right? So, I mean, but sniper and MG. Okay, Wu's pushing out into the center now with a little mixed force here, and let's see if he can get these rifles to go away in the south, and then he'll have some presence in the center.
MG in the middle, barely missing a mine that Seb previously placed.
Ooh,
and since he's been harassed off his fuel so much in the top, it looks like Wu's going to be forced into going tier 2, probably getting out an early pack. I think Seb is going to be going for an early motor pull and relying on MH to do a lot of the mid-game damage. That's kind of what they're going to transition into. But the Wehrmacht player has to make a push, and he needs to make a push soon, because he's lost a lot of map control.
His MG crew just takes that mine, but they actually take it pretty well. They lost a lot of health, but they didn't lose any guys. And yeah, I mean, Wu has had no fuel. Let's talk about the fuel race right here. I'm up at around 100, and what are you at right now?
Wu has 26, but he is in tier 2. He's got plus 16 income at the moment.
All right, well, here's something I find a little bit strange. Seb has elected to go weapon support, even though he's had such a good fuel lead. I find that, I don't know, what do you think of that decision?
I think he's going for really early game aggression. He knows that Wu is not in a position to do something like a Puma rush, so he doesn't really need to go for an early M8 or an early AT gun. So he's just going to get that weapon support center and try and drain Wu's manpower down even more, and try and counter that early sniper as well.
Ooh, that'll be fun to see. I hope we get to see some good sniper fights tonight. That's one of my favorite things in the game, as you all know. The rifles ate a mine to the face. They lost 3 guys as they made their way towards the strat point outside of Wu's base. And Wu's been kind of pushed off. His I mean, geez, he's got one sector connected. He hasn't even found a moment to go cap that medium ammo right near his base. And I find that odd. I mean, I know that Siberian would go and cap it like straight away. It was so important for him to get that coming in early because it was such a like unharassable point. But Wu hasn't even capped it yet.
No, I used to not cap that point at the start, but I recently decided, okay, it's best to cap that point right at the start of the game, because the plus 16 munitions, if you cap that early, you can easily be harassed off it with the strategic point that goes towards it. But the plus 10 near your base, you need that income as early as you can, and he's sending a Pyro squad to get it now. What I've been impressed with is how Wu's been taking the top part of the map. He's denied Seb's plus 16 munitions and that victory point up there just with one Pyro squad and laying a couple of mines down.
Sniper ready for battle.
So Sniper's just got his Seb out, and Seb has just got his sniper out. Not only does he have a sniper, as I fumble along my words, he also has a supply yard. So it looks like Seb's sort of teching path is just going along as planned. He hasn't lost a squad. He's got his 4 NGs. One of them's upgraded to flamers. He's got 3 rifle squads and now the sniper. And so, Wehrmacht sniper is by the church. He's along that green cover wall. American Allied sniper is sort of over the left by the river, coming up near that tree, and they are about to get within range of one another. Tell me what it's like at this moment in the game when you know there's another sniper on the field. What are you trying to do? What are your objectives? What are your techniques? Like, what are you thinking right now, Sepha?
Well, I'm wondering if Wu actually knows there's another sniper on the field. If he knows
he must
Seb
not,
actually has a sniper out yet.
He uncloaked and ran along that wall. He must not suspect it. That was a very good point. But
Wu does not know what Seb is doing at the moment. He doesn't know if he's teching.
Seb's in great position. Seb's creeping through the graveyard, getting into even better position. Oh no, he uncloaks, he's running away. Seb takes the shot, it gets him right before he gets around the corner of the hedgerow. And that's a huge early win for Seb. And now look, now he knows he can just tee off. He uncloaks and he's going to start wrecking this Wehrmacht army, and Wu knows he has to pull back.
And to add insult to injury, Wu has just made a pack which is coming down the road. He thinks that Seb has gone for early M8 to try and take an early victory with the motor pool, but he didn't. So Wu's got a completely useless pack on the field. He's lost his sniper. He's in a very bad position going into mid-game at the moment.
Yeah, I wish he could just take that pack back and have something else.
Rifleman, steady!
That said, Seb has just made a tank depot in his base, so we should be seeing a Sherman coming out soon.
Let me get my foot out of my mouth then. Good thing Wu's got that pack ready for tank depot. Alright, we see the infantry half-track coming on the field here, and that's some pretty nice suppression added to the MG. Well, Seb's got 66, so he's starting to save manpower. He's got around 200. I expect when that tank depot's done, as soon as he gets the manpower, yeah, he'll have enough for a Sherman.
Alright, now we can call in the heavy tanks.
Wu just did a very nice defense in the middle here. He's going to take some territory now, get some land back, and we should see another push by Seb within the next couple of minutes or so. Possibly he'll wait for the Sherman to come out, but he might try and do some damage with that sniper beforehand.
Some nice mines going on right between the church and the graveyard. That infantry half-track is so fantastic. It allows them to reinforce at the field. And Volks are dying a lot, and they need to get on packs that get dismanned by artillery or snipers or whatever else. So, but also, to me, sometimes it's an indicator of a player going terror as opposed to defensive. So, you'll need a forward reinforce point. And I've seen this game where Wu came back against you, man. That was a hell of a game. You want to tell us a little bit about that one?
Oh yeah, don't remind me about it. I thought I had that one in the bag, and he comes back. I pretty much squandered a victory, and I feel really bad about that one. But Wu has a sniper on the field now. He really wants to deal with Seb's sniper, so he's going to try and get a counter snipe up soon.
Yes, these armies are sort of getting close to one another. They can see each other in the fog of war. Look at Seb setting up some nice rifles coming from the top. The half-track is backing out. His rear gun is firing at the church. Some rifles are garrisoning. The sniper's creeping up. We got flamers going through the graveyard. We got some Grens out. We got MGs in a very unpopular house, considering its two huge blind spots. But it's firing away house to house, and the sniper gets a stripe of vet. Seb walks into a huge mine. His flamer's down to one man. They got to retreat. This understrength rifle squad, they're going to have to retreat too. So, boy, that mine paid dividends. Mines win games, and here, look at these grenadiers reinforcing at the half track, and that's going to allow them to win this little green cover fight against the rifles across the way. Oh, Wu sniper misses. A bullet whizzes by Seb's head, and I swear, man, Seb, he just gets breaks. How many times have I casted one of his games, and he just gets pro breaks, and there was another one. A missed counter-snipe shot.
Despite the fact that he missed that counter-snipe, that was a very good encounter for Wu. He won the fight. He drained a lot of manpower from Seb, but Seb's got that Sherman coming out on the field now, and the only thing Wu has is a pack. He's just gone into tier 3, so he might see Stug or possibly tier 4, but he's going to need more than just one pack to deal with this Sherman now.
How are you looking for ammo? Will those grenadiers be able to upgrade? I think they just saw it. I think they just saw the Sherman.
Wu has exactly 75 munitions, but he's decided to place a mine instead of upgrade a Panzerschreck.
Ooh, I don't know. What do you think of that? I think he needs a Shrek. I mean, he's got a lot of mines, sort of. Well, no, he's got like two now.
I think this pack could just hold off this Sherman enough for him to get out some, maybe another pack.
Look at the splash, kills 2 Grens. Sorry to interrupt you. It just started popping off there. The Sherman took a couple shots from the pack, and the Sherman laid in a main gun round and killed 2 Grens in one shot. Sort of blew away some of the green cover by the graveyard. But here comes Seb's main force, all of his infantry support. He's going to top that Sherman off and get him back up to full health. Lickety split. Looks like we got a game on our hands. You know, Wu sort of stayed in it, where and some other players might have just crumbled.
Yep, he's in a very good position at the moment. This game could go either way. It's just about who can position their units for, the best, who can micro their units the best. We're going to see some very good encounters in the next 5 minutes, that's for sure.
This is exciting. Look at these American infantrymen. They're just sort of being ordered forward. They just want to light that sniper up so that Seb can take a counter-snipe shot. And this is, you know, like early game snipering is all about like secrecy and trying to get the counter-snipe. But mid-game snipering is about getting your kills in while the other sniper's on the field. And oh no, he flops forward. That's dangerous. And he's lit up. Oh, Seb's got a great opportunity, but he doesn't take it. What's going on? Why did Seb not take that shot? He had it. He started backpedaling away, and now it's a full retreat. Oh my goodness, and the rifles are annihilated on the mine. They're annihilated. What happened?
It's a very good encounter for Wu again. Did you see it? He was next to the corpse of one of the riflemen, and Seb just didn't counter-snipe him. It's very unfortunate for Seb.
Yeah, he was lit up for so long, I thought Seb was going to kill him for sure, but I don't know, maybe he was microing his tank or something else. But that's the thing, man. Combined arms trying to micro your snipers within the bigger fight, which is all the infantry and the flamers. And look, he did save the Sherman at almost no health. That Sherman's hiding behind the hedgerow way, way to the left by the river. So I'm sure he was occupied doing that. And, you know, maybe he made the right choice. Prioritize. He's got to make decisions, you know. Do I, like, get the counter sniper or do I try to save my Sherman?
I think also this is where we see the real weakness of the 4 engineers build going from mid to late game. You don't have 4 riflemen on the field. They aren't upgraded. You can't flank as easily when Wehrmacht has so many units out, so the engineers become pretty useless. They're all in the same kind of pocket.
So
he's in a very good position now.
Yeah. Let's see. These 4 engineers are going to bring the Sherman back real quick, but Seb is getting chased off the field, and he's almost pinned in his base. These 2 snipers are Yeah, just 3 sniper shots. Snipers are going nuts. They're shooting infantry at the front and trying to stay at the back. Here comes the Sherman again. Where's the pack? Still in the middle of the map. He's got lots of coverage from the church and that other small house. So Sherman should be able to own up a little bit. We do have a Shrek on one of those Grens. They're all trying to reinforce at the half track. The Sherman's rushing in. This could be a huge engagement. He's taking Panzerschreck shots straight to the front. Here come all these 4 sets of flamers. They're going to wreak havoc on enemy infantry. One of them's got to retreat. The sniper is shooting rifles. Seb should not lose another rifle squad. He's only got 2 right now. These flamers are burning the MG. He's got to get out of the house, and Wehrmacht is forced back just a bit. Seb makes himself some space. He needs to control that exit from his base to get his guys onto the field. Another squad has to retreat, and
we've got some artillery coming down on the MG, which just retreated, and it's just been destroyed. The whole MG squad just got destroyed. Wu is making a Puma, so he's going to be looking at the pack Puma combo mid-game, try and deal with those rifles and engineers better, but that's not going to help against the Sherman, and his pack has just got taken out as well. He's got nothing to beat the Sherman with now, except for a Panzer. What is it, Panzerfaust? It's a Panzerschreck, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, and look at this half track. He's lost his pack. He's down to 3 guys in his 1 Shrek squad. Oh, he does annihilate some engineers. They got in a little too deep and couldn't get out of there. Let's see if Wu can save this half track. I suggest he keeps backpedaling. The sniper's going to town. Whoa. Where is Wu's sniper? I don't even know where he is. Where is he? Where's your sniper hiding? Oh, he's south of the graveyard. Look at this crazy position for Wu's sniper. Oh, he just misses Seb's sniper. Oh, my goodness. And now he's not recloaking. Oh, finally he's recloaked. So Seb's 2 snipers, one of them just dodges a bullet again. That's twice.
It couldn't get any worse for Wu's sniper at this point. He's missed 2 counter snipes. I think Wu's is kind of overstepping his mark here at the moment. He doesn't need to take a +5 munitions in the center of the field. He doesn't really need to cut Seb off anywhere. What he should do is go back and defend a little bit more. He's just used propaganda war there, so this should give him some time to recuperate.
Wow, but I don't know. That's like okay, it kind of saved his skin, but how great would that propaganda war have been if he could have popped it on the snipers just to light them up and counter-snipe them? You know, instead he had to sort of use them in desperation. And look at him hiding behind that Sherman, and this is great. You know, Wu's pushing forward with the pack and the sniper, and the 2 snipers are working behind the Sherman. Just wonderful combined arms. And Seb is maintaining a small foothold, although I'm getting worried for him getting run off. I mean, Wu is starting to build up a big army in the center. Let's do a little time check. I'm at 19 minutes and 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 seconds.
Yep, I'm exactly the same as you. Seb has just brought a crocodile out on the field, and Wu has just brought a Puma. He has no anti-tank units to deal with a Sherman and a crocodile at the moment. He did not really need a Puma. I think he even needs a Stug, or he needs to take up to a Panther, because he's floating about 120 fuel at the moment. It's going to be very hard for Wu to win the next engagement.
And there's the counter-snipe! Yes! Seb's infantry get in close. Wu's sniper takes the shot, and it'll be the last action he'll ever commit. And now here comes this croc, and let me tell you what, if I had a sound effects machine, I would be making some buzzes and whistles right now to see a croc with a plow on the front in a Sunday Night Fights episode. I am loving this. Flanking Puma, he wants to get those snipers. Oh, this croc is brave. Look at him pushing forward into the center. He's trying to burn those Shrek'd up friends. The snipers have cleared the pack. The croc gets veterancy. The Shrek'd up friends are annihilated. Holy smokes, look at Seb go, man. He's really feeling it. And Wu rage quit. Holy smokes. That's it.
Big encounter. Like I said, he had nothing to do with that croc and Sherman. He had a Puma, which was the complete wrong decision. He was making the Geschutzwagen, but that should have been out much earlier. He should have had more than a pack to deal with the Sherman and tank depot.
An unbelievable finale here. Allies just rocking Seb coming out of nowhere and just bulldozing literally the entire Wehrmacht army. Before we wrapped it up, Pez, take me to the good stuff. Or maybe not. Allies win. Allies win. I can't believe it. And so, I mean, that was GG, right? I mean, he lost everything. He lost the Shrek Grand. He lost the sniper. That's when it all started, right? The sniper took a shot at a rifleman, and Wu must have been microing somewhere else. But that sniper got counter-sniped from the guys right near that Sherman, and then it all went to hell.
He lost his entire army in the middle. He lost that sniper first of all, and then it all fell apart, really. He didn't really have a counter for the Sherman or a counter for the Crocodile. He overextended in the middle just for a +5 munitions. There's no point of doing that. It's better to stay on your half of the map, try and camp it out a bit, get a good unit combination as Wehrmacht, rather than camp that area in the middle of the map.
Yeah, the Puma was the wrong choice. The Stug would have actually been a lot better. He needed to back up that AT gun with Seb's snipers. You know, one of them ends up with triple vet here and 19 kills. They cleared that pack, and the Crocodile with like 10% health just annihilated that Gren squad, and that was that. Wow, what a checkmate, man. That was like sack my knight, you take it with a pawn, sack my queen, and then bam, checkmate in your face. So, the first time we've seen Allies actually take a victory on Semwa. Seb is going to go up 1-0, and I'm going to come back at you with my co-caster Biosparks. We'll give Sepha and his excellent strategic analysis a quick break, and we'll come back to you soon for game number 2. Don't go anywhere.